Welcome everyone. Let us start this difference between early Vedic period and later Vedic period. Yes. So in this, the long years of the 1500 years, we need to understand that what were the main changes and what were the evolutions that were happening during this period. And let us understand these differences between these two periods, and let us bifurcate these two differences, early Vedic period and the later Vedic period. Okay. Now let us understand what was the time period of this period. Okay, the time period is very important for us to understand. The time period of this discussion is 1500 BCE to 1000 BCE. Okay, that is before Common Era. Now in the later Vedic period, the difference is that it has moved on to the next period, that is 1000 BCE to 600 BCE. Yes. 600 BCE means that is before Common Era. That is the time period, from this time period, the origin of Mahajanapada period happens. That is where the Buddha and Mahavira, the originators of the Buddhism and the propagator of Jainism, were there in this period. The 16 Mahajanapadas started in this period, and this 600 years that they have given means this is the period of later Vedic period, where the later Vedic scriptures have been compiled in this period. And this period is completely associated with Rigveda, and this Rigveda is completely associated with early Vedic period, and this is the only book and this is the earliest book of Vedic civilization. And this later Vedic period comprises of 3 Vedas. Those Vedas are Samaveda and Yajurveda and Atharva Veda, and including other type of Vedic literature. For example, Upanishads and Aranyakas, and later in the later Vedic period, there are so many Vedic scriptures that are added to this period. Understood? And this is what this Rigveda is completely associated with early Vedic period, and there is the earliest Veda, and it consists of 10 mandalas. 10 mandalas. Okay, and in this 10 mandalas, we have got many important points to remember for our prelims point of view. Where the third mandala, it talks about the Gayatri mantra, right? That where the worship of Savitri, right? Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha. This mantra is there in this third mandala, and the seventh mandala discusses about the Dasharaja Yudna. Okay, Dasharaja Yuddha means that is the battle of 10 kings on the river of Parushni. Parushni means that is the ancient name of river Ravi, right? Then in the 10th mandala of this same book, that there is an explanation regarding this Purushartha, okay, Purusha Sukta, right? Purusha Sukta, that is the 10th mandala, but it is, and everybody consider it as the later addition to this Rigvedic period. Actually, this Rigveda consists of these 10 mandalas. Out of those, 2 to 7, the mandalas of 2 to 7 are the oldest ones, but these are the 1 and 3, 1 and 9, 1, 9, 8, 9 and 10. These 4 books are later editions. Okay, these are the later editions to this Rigvedic book, right? Next is extent. Okay, now the extent. What was the extent of this period? Okay, this is called as Sapta Sindhu River, Sapta Sindhu region. The extent is Sapta Sindhu region. And let me explain you this what is Sapta Sindhu region in this. But later Vedic period, it moved to the east, further east, and I will explain this transfer from one point to the other point when I am going to complete this point. And here, this in the later Vedic period, this region of extent means what was the coverage of this area was the Ganga Yamuna Doab. Okay. Okay, Ganga Yamuna Doab region. Okay, let us explain this. Okay, Okay, here this is the region of Sapta region. Okay, Sapta Sindhu region is this. Okay, around this region, these early Vedic period were existing, right? Early Vedic period people were existing, and in this period, actually in this later Vedic period, this is the Ganga Yamuna Doab region, and in this region, later Vedic period comes. And later, this whole major area, they were extended to this major area, including the Ashmaka, okay, Ashmaka kingdom and the Avanti kingdom, that is Ujjaina as the capital of them, and Magadha. Magadha became an important, place for their extent. This is later. This is after the later Vedic period. We have got Mahajanapada period, right? Okay, because in this you might be witnessing one thing, that every time these people are moving towards the here. Okay, for example, this in Harappan civilization, that is in Indus Valley civilization, the people were residing in this Indus River tributaries. Okay, then the early Vedic period came and acquired this territory, Punjab and this region. And later, in the later Vedic period, the people moved down to further east. That further east is nothing but this Ganga Yamuna Doab region. Then Mahajanapada period came and made the Magadha, that is Pataliputra. This region became very famous during this period. Understood this evolution? Next is, let me explain the other points, that in this period, early Vedic period, the major occupation was the cattle rearing. Right? The cattle rearing is the major occupation. And when the period comes, the later Vedic period comes, the land becomes the major, property. Land becomes the major property, land became the prominent occupation for them, and the agriculture took the prominence. And this point is very, very important, because the cattle is becoming more important for them, and here the agriculture is becoming more important for them, and here there is no land affection. Okay, the affection for the land is very poor, very less, and the affection for the land is more. It doesn't mean that these people are loving the cattle rearing a lot. That doesn't mean that they were not practicing agriculture. They were practicing agriculture, but in a very limited manner. And this agriculture got promoted because of one important reason, that is finding of iron. Okay, iron was completely discovered here. They started doing iron tools here, the iron flow shores. They started using this, and because of that iron flow shore, the agriculture became very easy. Those fertile grounds of the Ganga Yamuna Doab region, they were very hard to till, and for that tillage they used iron tools, and that became very important for this region. Okay, next differences. The polity. In the polity is the Rajan. Rajan is a tribal chief this time. Okay, when the early Vedic period is there, the tribal chief, that is Rajan. Okay, the tribe is called as Jana. Okay, Jana is the consisting of the people. The people are organized into this one tribal group, and the tribal group is headed by Rajan. And Rajan is just a tribal chief, and he is not having that monarchical stature. And the Rajan, the position of Rajan is not hereditary. Position of the Rajan is not hereditary, but here when the later Vedic period comes, the Rajan becomes a political identity, where it took the political authority, where the monarchical system started. And the Rajan, the position of Rajan became the hereditary. Okay, here hereditary authority it took, means the Rajan, the person who is controlling the land. Okay, the person who is controlling the land, he is becoming more prosperous during this time, and he started maintaining a standing army. Okay, here there were no standing armies. No standing army, but here when he is maintaining the standing army here, and he can easily control the people, right? He can easily control the people, and he can bring the fear into the people, so that people abide his rules. Next major difference is the tax system was voluntary. that is Bali. Bali was given as a voluntary contribution to them. Okay, tax was voluntary. Just a second. Okay, here the tax became a kind of compulsory establishment. Okay, the people have to give some share of their produce. Okay, tax become compulsory. Okay, next major differences is the society. The Varna system that was there. Varna means that is the difference in the society where it was based on the occupation taken by the people. The Brahmana, people who read the Vedic scriptures and spread the knowledge, and the Kshatriyas who fought the wars, and the Vaishyas who conducted Vyapara and agriculture and other activities, and Shudras who serviced these through three classes, who were in service of these three classes. But here during the early Vedic period, the Varna classification was based on occupation. And because of the consolidation of power, here the consolidation of power is happening in the society. The society is becoming rigid, and this rigid society made the Varna classification based on birth. Means if you born in this caste, you are belong to this only territory. Means before it was completely a kind of flexible kind. Here the Varna system became very solid. Okay, rigid, and that is why the Varna became it is based on the birth. If you are born in one family, you will be stick to that one family. Next major difference is the position of women, the conditions of women here. The conditions of women here. The condition of women was good here. Women good because women were allowed to participate in the debates, because Sabha and Samiti were there. Sabha and Samiti, these the royal groupings that used to conduct that time, these women used to conduct participate in these meetings, and they used to participate and they used to give their inputs in this, and they could have studied the Vedic scriptures also during this time. And here the Gargi is one of the examples where debate is participated in the Vedic debate and she won over the debate, and that kind of information is available from the Rigveda, and based on these proofs that we can say that the condition of women was good here, and the women could get the education. The Upanayana ceremony means women were allowed to participate in the Upanayana ceremony, and women were enjoying the good condition. And one good explanation for the condition of the women for the good is that women during this period, early Vedic period, the cattle rearing was the main occupation, and the women had economic role in the society. Women had economic role in the society means when the male used to go to the forest for the cattle rearing, they used to conduct the agriculture, the small scale agriculture in the locality. So women were contributing to the their local economy. But that is why they were being respected a lot here. But when the agriculture became the main occupation, then that using the iron plowshare became very difficult for them, for the women. And then when the agriculture became very important, every village economy was settled economy. The villagers started settling in one location, and the males started dominating the agriculture. The women lost their economic significance in the society. They were restricted to their home. Okay, they were being restricted to their home. When they are being restricted to their home, their economic significance has lost, and because of that, they lost their respect in the society. That is the socialistic evolution that happened in the society, and this is how the women have lost. Okay, the economic participation of women is very, very important for women empowerment and women emancipation, and this always relates to present society also. The present government is working on the women emancipation and women empowerment is because of these reasons. Because when women is empowered in economic senses, then she can easily be respected in the society. Political empowerment, economic empowerment, and among all these empowerments, the economic empowerment becomes very important. Here, the condition of women deteriorated. Okay, these were the major differences that we have discussed. Okay, the Shudras, the condition of Shudras was good here, but the condition of Shudras was very much weak here. Okay, thank you, and I hope you have understood from these concepts of this difference between the early Vedic period and the later Vedic period. Yeah, thank you.